Hi everyone, welcome to the online spoken activity on Advanced Communication Laboratory. Now today's experiment is experiment number 10, session 2, characteristics of isolator. Now before going into the experimental setup, let us see what is an isolator, how many ports it is having. So isolator is a two-port device. So here you can see port 1 and here you can see the port 2. Now we will see the experimental setup. So this is the experimental setup. This is a Klystron power supply. So in the Klystron power supply, it is having the modulation selector is there. Then here you are having the display selector. In the modulation selector, you have the option for AM and FM. And here you can have the frequency and the amplitude can be varied for the AM. And you have to keep it in the middle position. For the FM, we don't have to worry because we have selected the modulation as the AM. Now here the display selector. In the display selector you are having the beam voltage, beam current, repeller voltage, etc. So beam current, if it is greater than 15 milliampere, then your Klystron oscillator will start working. So we have to keep the beam current greater than 15 milliamps. So here you are having the adjustment for repeller voltage and the beam voltage. Now Klystron power supply is used to give the supply power to the Klystron oscillator. Here you are having the Klystron oscillator. Then this is a frequency meter to measure the frequency of the microwave signal, which will be in the range of gigahertz. Now this is a variable attenuator. Now by using this adjustment you can vary the attenuation. So this is known as a variable attenuator. Next one is a diode detector, which is used to measure the output power of the microwave signal which is coming outside. The output of this diode detector is connected to the CRO. Note down the CRO reading. The CRO reading is 0.6. So in this experimental setup, to measure the insertion loss, we have inserted the isolator here. That is in between the variable attenuator and diode detector. So this isolator will provide minimum attenuation in one direction and it will provide maximum attenuation in the other direction. That is, if it is providing minimum attenuation from port 1 to port 2, it will provide maximum attenuation when the wave is traveling from port 2 to port 1. This is the experimental setup to measure the isolation loss. Port 2 is connected to the variable attenuator side and port 1 is connected to the diode detector side. So this is the output that we got. The output is 4 milliwatt. So we all know that isolation provides maximum attenuation to the reflected wave and it provides minimum attenuation to the wave which is traveling in the forward direction. Now we will see how to calculate the insertion and isolation loss. Now we will see the calculation. Before going into the calculation, just we will see what values we have obtained from the experimental results. So isolator, as already explained, it is having two ports, that is port 1 and port 2. Now as per the experimental result, we got the input as 0.6 and we obtained the output as 0.4. Now we will calculate the insertion loss. First is equal to minus 20 log S21. So how we are getting the insertion loss? Just recollecting what we have seen earlier, we can say that input is given as port 1 and output is given or output is obtained at port 2. Now insert, just we have to substitute the values. So 20 log B2 divided by A1, that is output divided by input value. So that is equal to minus 20 log. We obtained the output as 0.4, for the input 0.6. So 0.4 divided by 0.6. So that is equal to, we will put the value in the calc. So minus 20 log 0.4 divided by 0.6. So that is equal to 3.52 dB. Okay, now we got the value of the insertion loss as 3.52. Now we will see what is the meaning of this. So the meaning says that, or the inference says that, if I am putting the isolator in the workbench, that is in between the variable attenuator and the diode detector, then by putting this isolator, the wave is having a loss of, the wave is overcoming a loss, the wave is facing a loss of 3.52 dB. So this insertion loss is a loss due to the insertion of the isolator in the microwave workbench that we have seen. I hope you are clear with the idea of insertion loss. Now we will see the isolation loss. Isolation loss is equal to minus 20 log S12. Now how you got the S12 value? That is by giving the input at the port 2 and obtaining the output at the port 1. So that is, you are having the isolator like this, same isolator. Here the input is given to the port 2. So this is the input, this is the output here. But here this is port 2 has become the input here, and port 1 is the output. Right? So this is the direction of the wave. Here it is the direction of the wave. Now isolation loss, that is equal to minus 20 log output divided by input, that is B1 divided by A2. So that is equal to minus 20 log 4 into 10 power minus 3 divided by 0.6. So we will put this value in the calculator and let us see what is the isolation provided by this isolator. 0.004 because it is in milli. So divided by 0.6. So that is equal to 43.52 dB. So what is the inference? So the isolation provided by this isolator is 43.52 dB. Now as already stated, the isolator will be providing minimum attenuation to the wave in one direction. For this isolator, it is from port 1 to port 2. It is providing the minimum attenuation because it is only 3.52 dB. And this isolator is providing the maximum attenuation for the wave which is traveling from port 2 to port 1. The attenuation is 43.52 dB. So this is for the opposition or the loss due to the reflected wave. So this is for the forward wave and this is for the reflected wave. We know that the forwarded wave will be useful for the circuit and the reflected wave is not useful for the circuit. We have to oppose it or we have to suppress it. So this isolator is providing the maximum attenuation, so maximum loss for the reflected wave which is traveling from port 2 to port 1. So that is equal to 43.52 dB. Hope this video was an